gentlemen, for Rabbi Steve Purim.
Good morning, everyone. The story of a man who came into a car dealership, and the salesman saw that he was Jewish and said, "Oh, I've got the perfect car for you. It's a Jewish car." And the man said, "Well, what would make a car Jewish?" And the man said, "It's the way it stops and starts." And the man said, "What? How could his car start and stop Jewishly?" And the man said, "Well, I'll explain to you. Get into the seat, and if you want the car to start, you say the words Baruch Hashem, which means, it means thank God." The man said, "That's the way I start the car?" And the salesman said, "Yes, you start the car by the words Baruch Hashem." And the man said, "Well, that's very strange, but how do I make the car stop?" And the man said, "Well, you use the words Shema Yisrael. Those are the words that make the car stop." The man said, "Let me get it right. The car starts with the words Baruch Hashem, and it stops with the words Shema Yisrael." The man said, and the salesman said, "That's right." The man said, "I don't believe it." When the salesman said, "Well, get in the car and try it out." The man got into the car, and he thought, all right, what did he say? He said, Baruch Hashem. The car started up, and he said, Shema Yisrael. The car came to a stop. The man said, "This is absolutely incredible. Can I take it out for a test drive?" The salesman said, "By all means." So the man got into the car again, sat down in front of the steering wheel, Baruch Hashem, and he drove around town. He was loving driving this car. In fact, he said, "I'm going to take it out into the hills for a drive." He's going around, beautiful scenery, faster and faster. Suddenly he saw up ahead a sign that said, "Road out, stop now." And he thought to himself, okay, what am I supposed to do? Don't remember how to stop the car. He looked for the brake, there was no brake. He's tracking his brain. I know it's Hebrew words, but I can't remember what they are. And more signs. Stop here, road out, bridge out, stop here. And the man realized that he was coming to the end of his life. And so he thought to himself, I better say the words that any Jew says before they die. So he said to him, what does a Jew say just before they die? Shema Yisrael. And right there on the edge of the cliff, the car stopped. And he said, Baruch Hashem.
Price of admission right there, wasn't it? They all were a high-hat, fat-cat, Haman and his Hebrew hater, big deal, schlemiel, Haman and his Hebrew hater, some dumb grumpus, Haman and his Hebrew hater, glad they're gone, they do, 'cause they were all-time low slime, Haman and his Hebrew hater, stop shirt, toe dirt, Haman and his Hebrew hater, who are weird hats, Haman and his Hebrew hater, glad they're gone. We're going to do that second verse one more time. When I say stuffed shirt, you're going to point to your feet and you're going to go, toe dirt. All right? And then we're going to shout out like this, who wore weird hats? Okay, you got to shout it out. All right. 'Cause they were all-time low slime, Haman and his Hebrew haters, stuffed shirt, Haman and his Hebrew haters, who wore weird hats, Haman and his Hebrew haters, glad they're gone. And one more time, second verse. 'Cause they were all-time low slime, Haman and his Hebrew haters, stuffed shirt, Haman and his, shout it out, who wore weird hats, Haman and his Hebrew haters, glad they're gone, hate you. Woo, that's initiated Rabbi Allison Sullivan.
Breakfast and went to my cupboard and there was nothing there, so it was a good thing I was able to go outside, and it just so happened that they were doing some yard work next door, and I don't know if anybody knows, what do you call a bird that's been run over by a lawnmower? Roadkill? Think breakfast. Shredded tweet.
I need somebody who can play the violin. I need somebody else who can play that tweet, tweet, tweet whistle. Look over there. Leah, you can play the whistle. And we got somebody with drums. Drank l'chaim that's too often. Drank l'chaim and got drunk on Purim Day. So he put his studies by, his hat across one eye, and he called for his fiddlers to play. Well, the fiddle took his fiddle, put a bow across the middle, and the fiddle fiddled out a little tune. Put the fiddler with his fiddle, 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 fiddle. Ellie Miller bounces like a balloon. Ellie Miller feeling frisky, picked another drop of whiskey, going to up and down the gullet, didn't go. Called his friend and his relation to his Purim celebration, and he roared for the piper to blow. Well, the piper tweedle, tweedled, and the fiddle did repeated, fiddle, 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 dee. And the piper fiddle, fiddle, and the fiddle did repeated, Ellie Miller was beside himself with glee. Until he drank three cups of it, and his eyes began to soften, and the tears they had to trickle down his chin. Oh, it seems they were a fighting, still a sipping, then a cutting. Whisper, please let the drummers begin. Well, the drummers drum he beat it, and the piper tweedle tweeded, and the fiddle did repeated, it's a boy. Oh, the drum was tweedle tweeding, and the fiddle did repeated, Ellie Miller fell asleep and snored. Oh, it happened in your hopping, just for drinking, went to open. There's only one more thing that must be said. At your Purim celebration, use a little moderation, or you'll wind up with a grinder for the head. But when the drummer tweedle tweeding, and the fiddle did his beating, and the piper tweedle fiddle fiddle dee, and your head is just a whirling like a barometer, it is whirling the great Ellie Miller melody. Oh man, we got more songs maybe?
Probably not. What? Reddit tweet?
Delicious and kosher.
They said they were each going to tell a joke, but they didn't tell us what the joke was. That was crazy. Well, folks, it's come time. We need to get you all ready. We've been having a lot of fun, but it's time to get at the costumes and start the show. Ready to go here.
What show might that be?
You know, the Purim spiel.
What spiel?
You know, the spiel. You know, there's no other name for it. It's the Purim spiel.
I know what a spiel is, but what's that got to do with costumes? It's Purim, not Halloween.
I have a really bad feeling that nobody told her.
Told me? Told me what?
No one told you about Purim?
Well, I know it's been a few months since rabbinical school, but I do vaguely remember something about Purim. I trained in Boston, not Santa Maria.
No one told her.
Look, let me explain. See, here in Santa Barbara, we have kind of, I don't know, we call it like a tradition.
Yeah, it's a tradition, all right.
Yeah, pay no attention to him. Look, Purim comes around once a year, and we all get dressed up in crazy costumes, and we put on a show. We put on a Purim spiel.
You're right. No one told me about this.
How can that be? It's in your contract, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in all our contracts, so it must be in yours. Let's get to the bottom of this. So, who drew up your employment agreement?
Actually, he did.
Well, then for sure it's in there somewhere. Probably in the fine print.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Really fine print.
Possibly in a language other than English.
Yeah. Don't listen to them. It's all pretty standard contractual jargon. We call it the Purim Amendment.
The Purim Amendment? I've never heard of any Purim Amendment.
I don't know how that's possible. We use the same joke every year for the past decade.
They know that. Yeah, it's pretty standard. Look, I have it right here. Here we go, folks. All clergy and selected members of the B'nai B'rith staff are required to dress up on Purim in a manner prescribed by the circumstances of the story, to read lines that one would never voluntarily utter, and generally to pretend that it's fun to have people laugh while we work.
Huh. Well, yeah, people usually laugh, but still, I've never heard
It's no big deal. It's all no big deal. We all went through this.
I can't really believe this. No one told me about this.
Yeah, besides, listen, after the shock wears off, it's sometimes even enjoyable.
Absolutely.
Okay, if you say so.
Okay, that's the spirit. Now, Cantor, why don't you stick around, play a couple of songs, we'll all get backstage and get ourselves ready, all right?
You know, his sister did warn me to read that really small print before I signed on here.
Does everybody have a notion to start this holiday? Now all the Jews are rejoicing, for keeping far away. You see the swinging the groggers, reading the killers too, but marching home in Tashin for USA. Oh, what the cheering answer, we're having more too. The king of hearts you wear is not too bright, it's true. But when we're swinging our groggers, the screams and shouts and boos. Oh, when we hear them we try to kill us. Everybody sing Purim, everybody sing Purim, Purim, USA. Ready? Since everybody had the notion to start this holiday, Purim, Purim, now the Jews are rejoicing, but very far away. You see them swinging their groggers, the screams and shouts say boo. Oh, when we hear them we try to kill us too. Born USA, born USA, yeah, born USA. Does anybody know where the story of Purim took place? In the land of... Oh, he was a high and mighty bluff in Shusha long ago. He ordered Mordecai to take his derby off in Shusha long ago. Sing after me. So we sing, so we sing, so we sing and raise a roar. For Haman he was swinging while Mordecai was singing in Shusha long ago. Oh, Haman wanted all of the power in Shusha long ago. He tried to make the Jewish people cower in Shusha long ago. Everybody, so we sing, so we sing, so we sing and raise a roar. For Haman he was swinging while Mordecai was singing Shusha long ago. But Mordecai sat and laughed in his face Shusha long ago. So Haman swore he'd destroy the Jewish race in Shusha long ago. Sing it loud, so we sing, so we sing, so we sing and raise a roar. For Haman he was swinging, while Mordecai was singing Shusha long ago. Ahasuerus loved his fair and lovely queen, the Shushalom. He ordered evil Haman to take a little swing, the Shushalom. One more time. So sing, Mary's all roll. Here it is. For Haman he was swinging, what Mordecai was singing. Where is Shushalom? Where was it? In Shushan. Fantastic. Thank you, sir. Welcome back, Dr.
Cantor, Mark Giles.
Fantastic. Oh, so great to be here. Is there more?
Hello again, everybody. I'm going to give some preliminary remarks because we're doing a few things a little bit differently this year. Everybody's asking, the big secret. Big secret, more secret than where the nuclear bombs are in Israel. The big secret is what is the Purim theme going to be in a given year? Well, the news is that there isn't going to be a special Purim theme this year. And I know we've done some very traditional stories over the years, Star Wars, Brigadoon, Wizard of Oz. Last year we did Camelot. But this year, the rabbi and the cantor asked me to frankly tone it down a bit. They asked me to dispense with the wild, crazy themes and return more accurately to the true story of Purim as it's written in our Megillah, the Book of Esther. And of course, I was extremely enthusiastic about this change. But okay, I went along with it after all. They are our spiritual leaders and all that. So they then said, they'd also like to tone down some of the humor and try and keep it a little more serious. And once again, I was extremely enthusiastic about that possibility. So what can I say? This year is going to be a little bit different than the past. There's going to be significantly less humor. Very serious. And we're going to do a Purim theme. So without further ado, making her inaugural appearance on the Purim stage, the one and only Rabbi Allison Solomon as our narrator.
I'm here, of course, to share with you one of our people's most powerful stories. It's a story of good versus evil. It's about the power of faith and the importance of personal responsibility. There are heroes and heroines, a king and two
students, beggars and thieves, noblemen and lawyers, board members and normal people alike, I welcome you to my palace and my kingdom. Look, my dear, at all my wonderful subjects, and they've all come here to honor me.
Actually, I think these fine people are here to celebrate the holiday of Purim.
Nonsense, my dear. This is the story of Purim, and since we're only at the very beginning, well, technically, the story hasn't even happened yet, right?
I guess so.
No guessing about it. All these smiling faces are clearly here because they adore their king, their beloved ruler, their gift from the gods. Don't you all agree?
Yes, absolutely.
And to show how happy I am just to be me, I want to share myself with all my loyal subjects. So let's eat, drink, and celebrate my reign over all of Shushan. Bring on the entertainment.
There doesn't appear to be anyone up here but us. Perhaps there isn't any entertainment this morning.
No entertainment? How can that be? Where are all of my jugglers, and archers, and musicians, and dancing girls? You heard what Rabbi Solomon said. I have to fill 180 days of celebration. So where's the hired help?
Perhaps I, as the palace executive director, can explain your kingly one.
Yes, an explanation would be most helpful.
Of course, your rabbinicalness. You see, all the expenses that we've already incurred fixing up this place, well, I'm afraid that the royal treasury is essentially
I don't know. I've never heard her say before.
It's a highly technical financial term. It means we're broke.
Broke? What? Are you telling me that I can't have any fire-eating jugglers?
I am afraid not.
No archers?
Nope.
Musicians?
Nada.
And I guess there's no hope for any more dancing girls?
Especially no dancing girls.
Darn!
But if I may, your lordliness, we have women among us. Perhaps they can provide the dancing entertainment you seek.
And this from a Cantor son. Oh, young man! I think you might have something there.
Wait a minute, hold the phone, stop that scepter. I've read my Purim amendment, and it doesn't say anything about dancing. Not for the king, the congregation, or anyone else.
Well, technically that is true, your kingship.
Nonsense! I am the king, right?
Yes.
And each of you is my loyal subjects, right? So, you must obey my wishes. In fact, if there is one among you who is not a loyal subject of your king, then let that person dare step forward now and face the consequences. Queen Vashti, am I to believe my eyes? You, of all people!
What? What's wrong?
Are you not loyal to your husband, the king?
Don't be silly. Of course I am, my royal Kreplach. Why would you think something as ridiculous as that?
Well, okay then. Show me your loyalty by dancing here for all our amusement and entertainment.
Me? Dance? Here now? You've got to be kidding.
I am the king. I have no sense of humor. Will you or will you not dance?
Well, since you've given me the choice, I think I'll not dance.
But I am your king.
So you dance. That ought to provide some amusement and entertainment.
You can't talk to the king like that. It's uncivil. It's rude. And it hurts my feelings. You have given me no choice. I must restore honor to my throne. You must leave the palace by sundown.
Ooh, and so the reign of Queen Vashti had suddenly and unexpectedly come to a premature end. Can you believe that?
Whoa, it's certainly a bummer.
So what are we going to do now?
It's a Purim spiel, right? And
when we reach a transition point in the Purim spiel. We sing!
Jeez, he wants us to dance, you want us to sing. I signed up to teach preschool, not vaudeville. This is crazy.
Crazy? You want to talk about crazy? Just look at us. We're all here, we're dressed in costumes, and we're working on a Sunday morning. Maybe if we sing this song here, it'll lift our spirits.
Okay, I guess it's worth a try. Better.
So, my queen, what are we going to do now?
Yeah, King sure looks bent out of shape.
I haven't seen him that upset since the preschool kids repainted his office. Yeah, and I could never understand his problem with that. I mean, what's wrong with pink and green walls?
And furniture.
Well, not to fret. It's been a good gig while it lasted. He thinks it's time to move on. I'm sure there's another palace out there somewhere in need of an experienced queen.
And so, my friends, Queen Vashti left the palace grounds for her tale has not escaped your keen eyes. For while the women's liberation movement would not begin for another 2,400 years, the first giant steps out of the shadow of male domination came many years ago when Queen Vashti of Shushan refused to dance for her king. You go, girl! Meanwhile, at the palace.
I cannot believe it. Such betrayal, such embarrassment, and in front of the whole congregation. I want you to draft a new decree banning Queen Vashti from my kingdom.
I believe that won't be necessary, sire, for word has it that the queen has already left on her own accord.
She left driving a Honda?
No, you foolishness. She merely left of her own free will.
A woman with free will? My goodness, what's the world coming to?
I know this is sad, but if I may, your lordliness, perhaps you can put this episode behind you by seeking a new queen to take your side.
A new queen? That's a fabulous idea. I'm glad I thought of it. How might I go about doing that?
Well, plan A would be for you to have a contest for a new queen on national TV. We would call it Shushan Idol.
TV show. Not bad, kid. But what exactly is TV?
Right, I forgot. It's 450 years BCE. Well, plan B might be to have you draft one of your new decrees seeking a new bride and then send that decree throughout the land.
Wait! Don't tell me! It's coming! I got it! I could draft the decree, seeking a new bride and send it throughout the land!
And then you could select from among those eligible single women one who meets your fancy.
Brilliant! I shall indeed select for myself a new queen.
What a fabulous idea, my king.
Yes, I know. It's just one of my hidden talents.
Hidden indeed, your highness.
Enough talk. I shall entrust this important task to my newly appointed Minister of Nastiness.
And who might that be, my lordly person?
Well, what would a Purim spiel be without the presence of the dastardly, evil, and downright no good Haman? Yes, Haman, thank you for coming so quickly. I assume you have heard that the Queen's throne now sits empty beside me.
Yes, my king, it's a sad state of affairs and it should be rectified as soon as possible.
My sentiments precisely. So you shall travel throughout the vast borders of my kingdom to help me find a new queen to rule beside me.
I would be honored to do so. And, of course, as the king's messenger in this sacred task, I would imagine that you would want everyone who passes before me to bow down as a symbol of your authority.
Bowing. How great. That's fine. Just make it happen. I hate eating alone and sleeping alone and...
This is a family show. I'm still just in high school.
Of course, I was going to say singing. That's it. I hate singing alone.
We know, your highness. We've all heard you sing and we understand completely.
Your father put you up to that. Enough of these cheap shots. Let's get to work finding me a new queen.
And so a decree was circulated among the peoples of all the towns and all the villages of Shushan, seeking a new wife and queen for King Ahasuerus. And it soon came to pass, the decree arrived in a small suburb of Oxnard, where there lived a man named Mordecai. Our sacred book tells us that Mordecai had a beautiful niece named Esther, whom he had raised as his own child. When Mordecai heard of the king's decree, he knew that his lovely and talented Esther would make the perfect new queen of Shushan.
This is very exciting news, Esther. It's the opportunity of a lifetime.
I know, but I'm not even sure that I want to be queen.
Don't want to be queen? What type of nonsense is that? You'd be living an enchanted life, surrounded by luxury, with servants to clean and cook for you, your every whim attended to.
Yeah, I know.
And best of all, there'd be no more Sunday school. No more education committee meetings. No more running after children to pay attention in class.
Or running after parents to just plain pay.
Exactly. So, how can you pass up this chance to shape destiny?
Well, when you put it that way, I guess you have a point.
Of course I do. Now, let's celebrate by singing a song.
Singing a song? Why would we want to sing a song?
Are you kidding? Heck, it's been, I don't know, probably minutes since I last had a chance to sing.
So you want to sing now?
Want to sing? It's much more complex than just wanting. It's a deep basic need I have for inner expression, for spirituality, and of course, for lots of applause and adoration.
Okay, then let's sing.
Hit it! I heard the spiel coming, rolling round the bend. Well, I was waiting backstage since I don't know when. About time I made my entrance, I need to do my thing. For the spiel has reached the climax. It's time for me to sing. By night I am Cantor, by day I'm mortified. There's never time to sit and rest. I'll tell you why. We live in Santa Barbara. Man, it's a home tonight. But the cost of my remodel can make a grown man cry.
I've seen them rich folks' houses, driving fancy cars, sipping schnapps from Bristol and traveling near and far. But I know that's not my calling, not what I want to be. Good thing money's not important, 'cause I work at sea.
Yes, we heard the spiel coming, rolling round the bend. Now we're here from the center, cause it's more time again. We finally made our entrance. We got to do our thing. So the spiel can now move forward. We got our chance to sing. See, that wasn't so hard, was it?
I guess not.
Okay then, let's get you all dolled up to see the king.
So it was that Esther traveled with Mordecai to Shushan, where they found many other young ladies all waiting and hoping for their chance to woo the king. But history tells us that when King Ahasuerus saw Esther, he was immediately won over by her beauty, her grace, and her Hebrew language skills. So he decided right there and then to make her the new Queen of Shushan. But while everyone partook of the joyous celebration of Esther, there was one among the king's men who remained downcast, sullen, and angry. Who do you think that might have been?
Put a stock in it.
They don't seem to be very fond of you for some reason.
Pay no attention to them. They just want to have lunch and play games and eat Hamantashen. I hate Hamantashen.
Haman, don't be so distraught. This is supposed to be a day of joy and celebration.
Well, I don't know. You don't understand. You see, when I went out amongst the people, one of them actually inexcusably and irrefutably refused to bow down to me.
That's terrible. And what reason did this man give for his rude behavior?
Well, he said that Jewish people don't bow down in servitude to other people.
Well, that sounds reasonable, doesn't it?
I wanted him to bow down. Everybody else bowed down. Why can't he bow down?
No, don't pout. Pouting doesn't befit someone of your twisted evil nature.
Okay.
After all, are you not my big, bad, dues-collecting, evil-doing, draconian dude whom everyone fears?
I am trustees, that's true.
Exactly! So take some initiative and just go fix the problem as you see fit. As for me, I'm off to play with my new queen.
Excuse me, my lord, but this is a family show.
Why does everyone keep saying that? I was referring to the fact that we plan on playing games at the Purim Carnival that follows the spiel.
Yes, I'm sure that's what you had in mind.
Carry on, carry on.
And so Haman thought long and hard about how to deal with the stubborn Mordecai, who, as a Jew, refused to bow down to any fellow man. And of course, since this is a Purim spiel, his thoughts would take the form of a song.
You mean it's time for me to sing my song already?
You wrote this thing? I'm just a narrator.
Okay then. Okay then. I'm not a nice guy, as you can see. I cheat and I lie naturally, 'cause my dearest companions have always been villains and thieves. Yes, and at my time of life, there's no point turning over new leaves, 'cause I'm reviewing the situation. I must quickly figure how the Jews will go. Stubborn people, what a nation. If you bow to me and make a lovely show. If not, I'll bet more Hebrews will forget about the golden rule. I'll ban recess, okay, it's cruel. Number one, Michelle, you'll start at 8, you'll finish late. I'll raise the rates for all, it's great. 'Cause I'm Haman and I'm equal as can be. Yes, I'm reviewing the situation, 'cause I'm a bad one and a bad one I shall stay. You'll be seeing no transformation. It's too much fun to read some source every day. So show respect, bow down to me, or grovel in the dirt and plead. This rotten life is good to me, better than I hoped it be. The Jews must go, it's clear to me. There is no in between for me. It's what I am, so pardon me, a villain with a PhD. Yes, I'm hated and I'm evil as can be. Yes, it's all clear to me now. I need a scribe. Where's my scribe? You're a scribe?
You called, sire?
Thank you. You're a scribe. You're a scribe. I thought you were the temple administrator.
I am, sire, but at the wage that they pay me down here, I take on all the extra work that I can find.
Yes, it seems to be a recurring theme this morning. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here. Take this down. Take this down. By order of His Majesty, the one and only King Ahasuerus, on the 13th day of the month of Adar, all the Jews in all the provinces of the land shall be cast away from their homes, and their possessions free to be taken by all who want them.
Seems a wee bit cruel and unusual punishment.
Right, thank you. But I will have to show that Mordecai and all his people who's boss around Shushan. Now let's be off, make haste. We need to get the spiel over with so you can all have lunch. Yes, let's do it.
Holy moly! Jiminy crickets! Oh my God! I can't believe what I just heard! This is terrible! I must call Queen Esther right away!
You called my father?
Actually, I never got a chance to call. So, how fortuitous of you to arrive at the very moment that I needed.
Not really. It's written right here in this script.
Oh, so it is. Well, I have some terrible news to to share with you.
Oh no, really? Don't tell me the Shushan healthcare plan hasn't passed Congress.
No. It's much worse than that.
You mean the Shushan healthcare plan has passed Congress? I interject at this point in a vain attempt to move us away from trite attempts at political humor and return us to our story. For in that story, Mordecai shared with Queen Esther the evil plans that Haman had decreed for the children of Israel.
Oh my goodness, this is horrible!
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
But what can I do? I'm only the religious school director. I'm only the queen. I have no control over Haman.
But surely you can influence the king, and he has control over Haman.
But of course, but that would be very dangerous. For all the people of Shushan know that it is strictly prohibited for any person, man or woman, to enter into the king's presence or to dare summon the king without his prior consent. And the penalty is death.
But surely you as queen would not suffer this ill fate.
Perhaps. But why do you keep calling me Shirley?
Rather than respond to this very old and very tired joke, Mordecai continued to cajole the queen to take action and save the Jews of Shushan.
God works in mysterious ways. Perhaps your very selection as queen was to place you in just such a position to help your people during this time of crisis.
Oh, come on. Isn't that taking the Jewish guilt thing a little bit far? Talking about me risking my life here.
Yes, but the fact that we're all here today, 2,400 years later, telling the story of Purim, reading the book of Esther, your book, your story, must mean that it all turned out pretty well for you.
I hadn't thought of that. Okay, I shall do as you ask, but keep me in your prayers, for I shall need all the divine help I can get.
Who has awakened me from my power nap? Do you not know that it is strictly forbidden to summon the king? Who is responsible for this? Speak now!
It is I, Queen Esther, who summons you, my royal Purim.
My queen, it's you. But I don't understand. Who is this?
How quickly they forget.
He is my uncle Mordecai, who raised me as a child.
Raised you as a child? That's odd, because aren't you actually a year or two older than him?
In Purim spiels, all things are possible, Your Highness.
I suppose so.
I am honored to meet you, my kingly one.
Of course you are! Now, my dear, what can be so serious that you risk your life by summoning me here this morning?
I am sorry to have disturbed you, my regal Rugalach, but I have heard things among the townsfolk that are troubling to me, and so I felt compelled to seek your wisdom and guidance to help calm my fears.
Oh, my princess of preciousness, my priceless Petunia, my maven of muzzle, what has distraught you so? What can I do to soothe your fears? For as my queen, I shall grant you any request that you might have, even if it be half my kingdom.
Really? Well, there was a dress I saw on sale.
Esther.
Oh, okay. It was worth a shot. Well, such a generous offer requires a bit more time and thought. I'll tell you what, if it pleases your majesty, I hereby invite you, my husband, and your prime evil for Haman to enjoy the feast that I have prepared for you. And then when we are all together, I shall share with you my concern and ask that you grant me my wish.
A feast? Do you mean that you've prepared a feast for Haman and for me with your own two sweet little hands? How delightful! Well, let's have it then. Summon the others so the feast can begin and the story can conclude.
So the king summoned all the members of his inner court to share the news of Queen Esther's feast and to hear her important request. And of course, with everyone now on stage, it should be obvious to you that this story is about to mercifully reach its exciting climax.
I am inviting you all here to pay homage to my queen, the lovely Esther, who has invited me and my main man, the one and only Haman, to a feast that she has lovingly prepared for us.
Why, Queen Esther, I am honored by this generous offer. What a lovely surprise.
You think that was a surprise? Just wait!
And I wish to introduce to the court my queen's musically infused guardian, Mr. Mordecai.
Did you say Mordecai? But my lord, he is the one that I spoke with you about. He is the Mordecai who refused to bow down to me even as I carried your majesty's royal seal.
You mean you carried around a marine mammal with you?
Not that seal, your literalness. Your crest, your royal emblem.
Yes, of course.
His presence is an outrage. I would be demented to share a bimmer with the likes of him.
Is this true, Mordecai?
Why, yes, I do think he is demented.
You can see what I mean? Such impertinence. It is because of him that all the Jews of Shushan shall perish.
Just then, things came to a sudden and unexpected halt. Music filled the air, and everyone began to sing a song.
Sing a song?
What's wrong with singing a song? I love singing songs. In fact, I'm a little put off that I haven't been asked to sing even a little more songs. So, let's do it! My dear Mr. King, my dear Mr. King, my dear Mr. King, time to end the spiel.
Yeah, the hour is getting late, and it's time we seal their fate. My dear Mr. King, the Jews must go.
Whoa, 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 wait a minute, feel like being harassed.
And finally got to sing, so you can't end this song so fast. My dear Mr. King, my dear Mr. King, my dear Mr. King, it's up to you. Can you feel the pressure? Can you feel the strain?
Hey, look, my bladder's bursting, so it's time to end this game.
I guess I got to choose between Haman and the Jews. Perhaps I'll flip a coin or roll some dice.
Listen, Mr. King, it'd be better if you let me sing. My dear Mr. King, that sage advice. You know the crowd is anxious. They want to end this court. You can sing if you want to. Just keep your sermon short. My dear Mr. King, my dear Mr. King, my dear Mr. King, it's up to you.
And so it came to pass that everyone finally stopped singing, and the king was faced with the difficult task of choosing what best to do.
We have one humdinger of a dilemma here, don't we? For if I do as you, Haman, ask me to, then I will
I'm not sure we put a crimp in our Friday night services.
Yes, but we can't exactly have our subjects show disrespect to the crown.
Precisely, my lord. There must be law and order and loyalty and respect.
Perhaps this will become clearer after we've had our feast together. Good idea. I'm starving.
Of course. Still, there's no need to rush into anything, is there? Besides, you still have to share with me what it is that's been troubling you.
Go ahead, Esther. Ask the king to grant your secret wish.
Ooh, secret wish, no less. Alas, what is it, my little lady? What wish could I grant you on this joyous day?
Well, it's nothing much, really. All I ask of your majesty is that you spare me my life and the life of my people.
Spare you your life?
And the life of her people.
But I don't understand. I would never let anyone hurt you, my Shayna princess.
But that man, Haman, would hurt me. And all the Jewish people of Shushan, all my people.
Uh-oh. Your people? You mean your?
You bet your sweet buckus. I'm not just a Shayna princess. I'm a Jewish princess.
I fear this is going to end poorly for me.
I would never let anyone bring harm to you.
Or her people.
Yes, of course, for your people.
Amen. You have almost brought sadness and suffering into my palace. Thanks to my queen and Mordecai, a great tragedy has been averted. And so, by order of me, King Ahasuerus, you are hereby banished from Shushan and all the provinces. Be gone and never return.
Buy tickets for the gala. It's next 2 weeks. Saturday night, 13th, there are tickets for the gala and also raffle tickets. And a huge, huge thank you for all of those who worked so hard in organizing our Purim Carnival, which is coming up right now.
Sweet.